Welcome back to the channel. So today I have another short video on yet another problem that I see with the changes in the highway code rules. If you haven't heard of those yet, check my other video linked in the description below. Now I know it's going to seem like I'm hating on these highway code rule changes, and in fact I probably am, to the extent that I can see problems with them. I have seen problems with them in the last few days already. But this one in particular, I have no idea how this is going to be resolved, because it's not something that can be learned or unlearned and resolved in that fashion. Allow me to explain. So I was sent a Facebook post by one of you guys, written by a Miss Julie Hutchinson, and her Instagram is Sarah and Pink Dog, which is for assistant dog Millie Bears on Instagram. So her message on Facebook read as follows: "Can I please point out that those of us working assistance dogs and guide dogs have our dogs trained to wait at curbs until no cars are present." And indeed, I remember this because a very dear friend of mine used to puppy walk guide dogs for many years. And so I would go around on some of this training around the streets, and the dogs are indeed trained vigorously to sit and wait until there are no cars present at all. Now, if you remember from my previous video about the new highway code rule changes, if a vehicle is turning into a road at which people are waiting to cross, the vehicle should stop and give way. Now, not only do I think this is going to cause problems for the vehicle, first of all, knowing these rules and stopping fairly abruptly when they see someone trying to cross, but also the vehicles behind that may not have seen those people and may not know why the vehicle has stopped and may rear-end the vehicle that stopped to let them cross the road. That aside, the separate problem with the guide dogs is plain and simple. The guide dog or the assistance dog is going to be trained to sit and wait until there are no cars at all, and only then allow their owner to cross the road, because that is how it's done safely. That is what they are trained to do. That's what they have been trained to do for many years.
Ziggy is trained not to let me cross the road when a car is approaching. If a car stops to let us pass, I can't encourage Ziggy to cross the road, because then he will start to think it's okay to let me go in front of cars. A big no-no.
Julie's Facebook post goes on to say, "Our dogs won't cross with us until cars drive on past. This new rule means that drivers will stop and try to wave us across," which is exactly what I've been predicting will happen and have now seen happen on more than one occasion. "Please be aware we won't cross the road and you will only hold us up. Best to drive on past if you see a vested working dog, knowing this is more helpful to us. Thank you." And so there it is, a very real and genuine experience and explanation from someone who is actively using assistance dogs and saying that it will not be helpful if cars stop to allow them to cross the road, because the dogs are trained to sit and wait. Now, these dogs are insanely intelligent. However, they are not so intelligent that they can now learn a new rule that if the car stops, they are then to cross the road instead. They are going to sit and wait until the cars are gone. This is going to be a little bit of a standoff between the dog and the car. The dog's training is going to tell the dog to sit still, sit put until the car is gone. The driver, if they know the rule and if they want to obey the rule, they are going to sit and wait for the pedestrian to cross the road. The driver may even gesture for the person to cross the road, even though they're not supposed to. But that is obviously not going to be very helpful to a person who is partially sighted or who is blind, who needs a guide dog or assistance dog in the first place. And the dog certainly isn't going to see this gesture as an indication that it's now safe to cross the road. They are going to do what they are trained to do. They are going to sit put until the car is gone. So if the car then does start to drive off, what if the dog does at that very moment indicate that it's safe to go across, because they, in their instinct as a dog, decide that it is now safe because the car stopped, and then the car moves at the same moment? I just think this is going to be chaos. And all of this also goes against what we've taught children for many decades, which is stop at the edge of the road until the road is clear. Look left and right. Do not cross the road if there is a car coming. I certainly don't like the idea of teaching children to start crossing the road because of these new rules when a car is coming round the corner, on the assumption that the car should stop and give way to them. The only way that could possibly work is to tell the children that they should wait until the car has stopped and then cross the road. But that is even more complicated than telling children to just wait until there are no cars and then cross the road. But I humbly suggest that with guide dogs and assistance dogs, This is just a non-starter and is not going to work. So at the very least, this aspect of these new rule changes, I just cannot see working. So again, please leave me your thoughts and comments below. Send me footage if you have dashcam footage of near misses, like the one that I saw yesterday, but my dashcam didn't capture it. But I told you about it in yesterday's video. So again, I'm sorry if this sounds like a bit of a rant, but I just don't think these rules are going to work. That is my humble opinion. And in the meantime, thank you for watching.